Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Curly Cake Lamb, and I'm here today to discuss Shang-Chi. So I finally saw Shang-Chi, and I just, I really liked the movie. I have no complaints about the movie. I love the fact that it was kind of like a fantasy type movie. I also really love the fact that Marvel is starting to diversify the heroes and it was one thing when Black Panther came out, but for some reason, I felt the feelings I felt when I first watched Black Panther is the feelings I felt watching Shang-Chi. And I hope that, um, you know, my AAPI brethren really, were proud of this movie. I know I was, even though I'm not AAPI, but, you know, I watch a lot of Asian-based movies. And so, I felt that Shang-Chi was a very good movie. I was familiar with Aquafina. I like Aquafina. Her characters are always raw and uncut and very outspoken. And her character was very similar to the character she played in Crazy Rich Asians. I forgot her name in Crazy Rich Asians, but she was hilarious. I like the way that they portray her and Sean's friendship on screen. Of course, we can end up telling that they're going to be together or something because her grandma even was like, "So when are y'all gonna get married?" Anyway, so of course, Shang-Chi, him and Katie are valets at this hotel. They're in San Francisco. They're best friends. They've been friends since, I guess, there was this bully in school that was picking on Sean, and Katie said that she ended up distracting the bully by starting to sing Hotel California. It was funny. But they're friends, they're valets, and come to find out that Sean, aka Shang-Chi, was trained to be an assassin by his father. His father was the Mandarin. He had the 10 rings. His father has lived across a number of centuries, and we don't really get a backstory on the 10 rings. All we know is that there was an event that happened. The father found the 10 rings, and he was able to live across a multitude of time frames. And he ended up giving up the 10 rings when he met Shang-Chi and his sister's mom. I don't remember the sister's name, but his mom was from a special village that could only be reached if you followed a certain path, but her people did not like his father. So he was not welcome in their village. Their mother, when their father gave up the 10 rings, some gangsters came to their house, and their mother fought off them and ended up defeating them. But because of the wounds that she accrued during this battle, she ended up dying. And Shang-Chi's father never forgave himself, so he ended up going back to becoming the 10 rings, and he sought vengeance for his wife's demise. He ended up sending Sean on his first mission to San Francisco to find the final person who did it. And Sean ended up completing the mission, but it was so hard on him that he never came back. And I just thought it was crazy how his father, first of all, he only trained all men. Second of all, Shang-Chi was trained as a small boy to be an assassin. That was crazy. The sister was not allowed to learn the training, but she watched from a window and taught herself how to do all the moves, how to fight and become a warrior. And so she ends up being a pretty bad fighter herself, like, no lie. So, of course, moving forward, Sean gets this note. He thinks it's from his mom, but to come to find out, it's from his father. And so the whole bus scene was fire. Of course, we recognize our friend from Spider-Man, the dude who's always recording. The bus scene was hilarious, And those fight scenes, the choreography, amazing. I heard that the guy who choreographed a lot of Jackie Chan's um, moves helped choreograph Shang-Chi. Excellent job. Excellent, excellent, excellent job. I feel like the camera work, everything in that scaffolding scene when they was fighting out there on the side of the building reminded me so much of Rush Hour when they was in, I think when they went back to China, they was hanging from that flag. I don't know if you remember that, but Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan were hanging from that flag, and so they slid down the flagpole line to get to where they were supposed to do down on the ground. But anyway, so push come to shove, Shang-Chi ends up, you know, him and his sister, he ends up finding his sister. She runs this whole, you know, battle ring in China. Shang-Chi and Katie are locating the sister. They're met by somebody on the elevator. He signs the contract. He don't know what he's signing for, so he ends up fighting his sister. So here in this scene, we get a guest appearance from Wong, and we get a guest appearance from Abomination. Weird combo. Not really sure why they appear together on screen, but I'm sure moving forward we'll find out. All in all, they end up meeting with the father. The father ends up taking the necklaces from both of them. And the necklaces are the eyes of a dragon, which once he puts the stones in, they open up and show this trail of how to get to Ta Lo, where the mother is from. So he says he keeps hearing the mother's voice, and so he wants to go and save her. But then come to find out once Shang-Chi and them get to Ta Lo, that the dark force is evil voices, and they come off of the energy that the 10 rings is giving. So push come to shove, when they all get to Ta Lo, the father gets there and he's beating and bamming on the thing, letting those evil dark pterodactyls come out of that thing. I was so mad at him. I was so mad because I'm just like, his father is not listening. His father got on him his whole childhood about listening and being aware of his environment and all of that. And his dad just did not listen. It was so frustrating. And so everybody in Ta Lo is like, Shang-Chi, you got to get over there. You have to stop your dad before he lets the dark holder out. You got to stop him. You got to stop him. So he goes over there to fight his dad. His dad's not listening. His aunt, his mother's sister, has taught him all of their defenses and all of their moves, because the only person to defeat his father was his mother. And it was some kind of airbending moves. So he was ending up do that, but by all the time, the Dweller of Darkness got out, and the Great Protector Dragon is out there. So everybody's soul is getting snatched. Okay? And they said, if that thing snatched enough souls, then it's over for everybody. Doomed. Everybody is doomed. Everybody. Push come to shove, Shang-Chi ends up defeating his father. His father ends up giving up the 10 rings. The Dealer of Darkness takes his father's soul out. His father dies. Shang-Chi is sad. The sister and Shang-Chi are on the dragon now, the Great Protector Dragon, and so they are trying to defeat the Dweller of Darkness. And I just knew that Dweller of Darkness was about to get that dragon's soul. I was like, ooh. But they was able to keep fighting. They was able to help. And then Katie learned her arrow tricks from the arrow master. Even though I was sad when his soul got snatched out, she shot the thing in the neck, and then she was able to move forward. I like this movie. Overall, to just say that, I really like this movie. I think Marvel did a great job. I am ready for Shang-Chi 2 to come out, because at the end of the movie, it said the 10 rings will return. The sister took over the compound. I just hope that the sister don't turn evil, which I'm pretty sure it's probably what's going to happen, but we're just going to hope not. We're going to hope that she doesn't take over where her father left off, because she hated what her father was doing. So hopefully that's not what happens. So we get to the compound, and she's training other women, women and men, on their defense mechanisms and everything like that. Also, Shang-Chi and Katie are summoned by Wong, open a portal, and they're trying to figure out where in the world the 10 rings came from. They're trying to figure out where the 10 rings came from. So it's just crazy. Because if they're not from an alien space, because Captain Marvel doesn't know, and Banner, as we see him, he doesn't know where they're coming from. So we like, where the 10 rings come from? So I guess the next movie, the next Shang-Chi movie, hopefully we don't have to wait another 5 years before we get it. But, hopefully I figure out the next movie, we're going to figure out where Shang-Chi was. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Shang-Chi movie. Did you like the movie? Do you like Shang-Chi as a member? I just want to know where Shang-Chi is going to fit in terms of the Avengers or wherever the multiverse, whatever Marvel is doing with the multiverse. I'm just curious to see where Shang-Chi is going to fit in all of this. Because this didn't really have to do with a multiverse. This just had to do with the backstory of, him as a fighter and him becoming the new Mandarin and in charge of the 10 rings. Because the 10 rings possesses magical powers that have not been seen before, and that the Sorcerer Supreme and everybody who are into magic are unfamiliar with. So, let me know what y'all thought of this movie. Have y'all seen it on Disney Plus? And I'll be back with more videos. Deuces.